Cool.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Golia. I'm an actor, singer, and creator here in Los Angeles, and I am so excited to be here with singer-songwriter CLOE Wilder. How's it going, CLOE?
Good. How are you? I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, yes, I'm so excited to meet you and finally get to talk to you. Before we get started, I'm going to show everyone a quick clip of your music video.
Didn't mean to make you cry. My heart of stones, a flaw of mine. I didn't want to say goodbye. I love you, but this life's unkind. Need a lullaby so I can fall asleep. See you in my dreams. Stay another night so I can fall asleep.
Okay, that was so beautiful. I love the song. I love the video. Can you tell me a little bit about how the song came to be and how you made the video?
Sure. So, In the Next Life is kind of like the closing track off of my debut EP, Teenage Lullabies. And I think it was the third one we wrote for it. And this EP in particular was like day after day, we got a song for it and it was done pretty quick. But yeah, so In the Next Life was kind of, I mean, it's honestly like the darkest song on there, but I really like the way it came together because it's so like light and airy and kind of like easy to listen to. And especially when you're like discussing like a subject you know, death and dark things like that. I think when it's kind of like tucked underneath something like so pretty and delicate and like comfortable to listen to, I think that's really nice. And so that's where In the Next Life was really inspired by the only major death I've experienced. I just dive right into it. The only major death I've experienced was my grandpa. And so I kind of and it was kind of the only time I'd seen the way that like people were like comforted by the thought of maybe like seeing that person again, and just kind of comforted by different things that maybe you don't believe all the time. And so that's where like In the Next Life kind of came from, because it's a very like it's like a sweet way of looking at something like that, and I feel like that's comforting to a lot of people in that sort of time where you just don't really know what to do with yourself. And then the video, I mean, the songs always felt blue to me, and in this particular project I tried to like associate colors as the best I could.
Yeah.
And so definitely blue, you know, like heavenly. And yeah, so the video was originally supposed to be us like going through the seasons of life. And then we shot this whole video through all the seasons of life with all these different sets like representing those seasons. And our favorite set was the summer set, which was actually the only one that like we didn't really touch because it was just like out in that desert. And
Yeah.
yeah, then we shot like a one take there, which we had just planned on using for like visualizers for like Spotify canvases. And that's why the video itself kind of turned into more of like a super long Spotify canvas or like a super long visualizer. Thank you. Yeah. So it was, and that was just ended up being my favorite between like all of the options we had. Just that song was like so, you know, so sweet and so delicate that I was like, I don't want to like do this overproduced video. I probably should have known before we went into it, but it was just one of those things that it was kind of, it was like a good lesson too, because I was like, you know, just like following like how a song feels. Yeah.
Totally. And I mean, that's so much of creativity is going with the flow and seeing how it's all going to work out.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it was
So
just one of
I
those
love
things.
that. Well,
Thank you.
yeah. So, okay, let's start at the beginning. Where were you born? Where are you based now? And when did
Yeah.
you get interested in music?
Yeah, totally. I was born
All
in
of the
Clearwater.
questions.
I was born in Clearwater, Florida, and that's actually spent like half and half time in Clearwater and in Los Angeles, which I'm planning to be based in Los Angeles in a few years. But that's kind of like how I do it right now. And all my family and, you know, my friends are in Florida, and then I come out here and I hang out with my music people, and we just kind of create. And it's super nice. I have like, you know, villages on both ends. But yeah, it's great. I'm like super lucky that I get to do it like that. And I got into music. I've always been like really obsessed with music, and I was always, I mean, I was just kind of like the classic like that classically trained music kid where I was just, you know, taking piano lessons and doing recitals and vocal lessons. And I kind of like felt like that was just the way to go for a while. I mean, the goal, like originally I was like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go to Juilliard. But then, yeah. And so that's kind of like how I was looking at it. And then when I was like, and I was very like into musical theater and everything. And then when I was like 12, I recorded a few covers in this studio in Florida, and I like sent them around to some producers. They were on like physical copies too. It's so funny.
Yes.
And this one producer really liked it, and he asked me to come to a writing camp at his studio in the Cayman Islands, which was super sweet. And then that's where I met like a couple of my first ever like co-writers, producers, and I worked with them for a while, and they're like still a part of my life. And then I just like kind of started meeting people from there. That's kind of where it all like started falling into place. And yeah, that was so I'm really glad that I did that, because it could have potentially been really weird, but it was actually really cool. And yeah, so I kind of had a very natural start.
I love that. That's so awesome. And you just kept going and never really stopped.
Yeah,
Amazing.
totally. Thank you.
Do you have any advice for other people out there who are just starting?
You know, kind of. I've made so many like artistic mistakes, I feel like, that have kind of like led me to like what like my artistic integrity now, and how like creatively in charge I am of like every aspect of it. And I think it's good to be a control freak. Is that something I would say? Because I was kind of I kind of like beat myself up about that at first, because I was very intense about everything that, you know, and when it's like your name and it's your music and that's so vulnerable. And especially like for me, like I would have been doing it either way just because I really love music. And that's the case for artists. And I feel like I just wanted everything to be so perfect. And there were like moments where I stepped back a little bit and I was like, no, like this is mine. You know, and it is, I mean, and that's your thing, that's your baby. And I feel like just doing exactly what you want to do with it. And yeah, also like not signing any contracts. I'm really glad I didn't do that. But yeah, just like actually, and also kind of, this is another thing I didn't do that I wish I would have. And it's only been like a couple years of doing it like this seriously, but I wish that I would have taken a little more time before I, you know, put myself out there to kind of like grasp how I wanted to present myself as an artist. And it's definitely like come together now. And since I was so young, I honestly like, I feel like I would have done it that way, like no matter what info anybody would have given me. Cause I was like, no, I just want to do it now. And I feel like it is really healthy though, to like, you know, take a minute and write a ton of songs and just like actually just like really figure out how you want it to look, because that's what's like, and just for you, like for you as an artist, like I think that's so important to just be like so incredibly proud of things that you're putting out there, because it's a super vulnerable space to put yourself in, and it'll be worth it.
Yes, that is incredible advice. I
Thank you.
love that. I love all of your music and everything you're doing. And I'm so excited that you're going to be here on the FENIX platform. It's going to be an incredible way for people to find your music, find out what you're up to, see you live stream, get your merch, everything all one stop. And yeah, I just can't wait to see what's next for you. I'm going to put all your links down here too, so people can find you easily.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.